Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma practitioners, in this meditation practice, our main purpose is developing our mind to reach to a level to experience the ultimate truth. So, when it comes to that, what do you mean by ultimate truth? What do you mean by truth? And in day-to-day life, what do your mind experience? And have you ever thought, what is the highest that your mind can achieve in conventional life? If there is something else come to your mind, why then you don't get it? So if this is the ultimate that you can gain, you don't look then anything anymore, then you are not here to practice meditation. Or even you don't look for anything anymore, even anywhere. Even you may not going to watch TV, listening to news, reading a newspaper, go online and Google, YouTube. You don't do that. If your mind experience the highest, in that very moment, you complete. In that completion, no desire, you just exist. But in day-to-day life, averagely, as an ordinary person yourself, so you have to ask that question yourself. So if you are here, we can have a conversation, better conversation. But here now, I'm every day now becoming like a robot and looking at my own pace and keep talking. But anyway, there's something that I try to to tell you. So if you become very clear and hear it and get it, and then you will understand. It may not going to, everybody not going to get it, but still, question yourself. So is this the best that you experience every day? If not, you have to ask question yourself, why you not experience the best yourself? So the other thing is, are we capable to experience something, and what we mean by experience? So those are questions that we have to be very clear. So mostly our life depending on informations and thoughts. So we always think without thinking, without thoughts, without informations, without knowledge. That knowledge means the accumulated knowledge. Without that, we have an idea that without that all knowledge, our life not going to be complete. But when it comes to your mind, so before you come to this thought, there is a moment you used to exist yourself. But still you had the understanding or the feelings. Maybe you didn't have idea or the words to explain it. But there is a moment you had the connection. So then one thing you have to understand, there is something in your mind. The true nature means, the real wisdom means, ultimate truth means, without thoughts, there is a moment your mind itself can understand. So that is what called clear comprehension again. So remember this word, sati sampajanya. That word you can find only in the Buddha's teaching, and when it comes to the satipatthana or the vipassana knowledge. So is it possible for you to understand something without words? So that then your whole understanding means, is that everything related to words? Just look yourself and see. So as example, you experience something, or maybe you do something it come out very beautiful, like as a carpenter, or maybe you cook something, or you make something, you do some work, and it come perfect. It's kind of like a masterpiece of art. So then, do you think that by words that you can explain it? Or if your wisdom or the knowledge or depending on words, did you use any words to make that masterpiece to happen like that way? Or there was a moment came to your mind, you detached from thoughts and the ideas that you collected, and the mind start to flow itself. So there is a moment in you without thoughts. Remember this very carefully. Without thoughts, there is a moment in your mind, it can exist, and in that very moment, it has power to get connected to each and everything, whatever you want. So then how the wanting come? So it come according to that necessary conditions in that moment. So as example, it like this, newly born baby. Just imagine the baby born today. And that baby don't know any language, don't know any kind of methods or the patterns or thoughts or nothing. But still, that baby can understand who is the mother and who is the neighbor. And maybe somebody else, if the somebody else take the baby and the baby cry. So see that the baby doesn't know anything, know any language, know any kind of words you can use. So, but when the baby go to mother's hand, the baby knows this is mother. How this knowingly come? Because if you think that the knowledge means this, we need to know, we have to accumulate, we have to remember, we have to learn these things to live. So then how in that way, that's only one example. So to understand to yourself, there is something, some place beyond your thoughts. You can live in a place beyond your thoughts. But the thing is, we caught up with the thoughts. So we caught up with the thoughts and we become more comfortable with the thoughts. Why? Because It brings us the security. How? Because of the culture, tradition, and then the other people used to do that way, and then we also going to do that way, and then other people appreciate it, and then we become comfortable with it. So, like that. So when it comes to the vipassana, remember yourself. Don't bound to any kind of thoughts. That is where the clear comprehension comes. You just being to just the experience. So then how you can get out of the thoughts? So the very first thing that you have to understand, there is a place for you to exist without thoughts. If you don't know that, you're not going to go there. So conventionally, the very first thing you have to know that there is a way you can live completely without missing any information, without missing regarding the past or the future, without missing any information. There is a moment you can exist without thoughts. So see, sometimes in life, some dreams happen, and you're going to experience it very next day or next month. You're going to experience it exactly the same way you dreamed. Exactly the same way you saw, you're going to experience it. Or maybe not the surface level of the details, but the final result you're going to experience. And as you know, there are certain things that before the human experience ourselves, there are certain animals, they can experience it. So then what you have to understand? So if, as example, earthquake. So if the earthquake going to happen, so before it happened, before we experience it, sometimes the dogs experience it. So what it is? And some birds. So as example, like when the tsunami happened in Sri Lanka, during that time, there are some animals and they ran away from the ocean to the land. But there are people, they ran from land to the ocean. See how the animal understand it is not about there is a tsunami going to happen or there is an earthquake going to happen. So you have to understand how that can, as an incident or as a kind of like information or indication, how they get it. So that's mean before we experience it as a knowledge, as information, it is there. So then why we cannot get it? Because our mind disturbed from thoughts. When your mind disturbed from your own thoughts, you're not going to get it. So that's why when it comes to vipassana level, in tranquility meditation, we name it another way, and you develop undisturbed mind. See, when you tranquilize the mind, you make mind usable. How? Make it undisturbed. So when you, that's mean when your thoughts, everything settle down, you don't get disturbed. So that's mean there is a way that information start to come. It's always happening. It always happening. But the thing is, we caught up with the thoughts. So the clear comprehension means little by little, we try to access to that, the pure consciousness or the ultimate truth. So ultimate truth means not you're going to experience it by words. So as example, there is the carpenter and create this way, like this way, and then he become completely happy. And if you ask from that carpenter, and can you explain me, can you write, or can you explain me how you make this like this way? So by words, there is a limit that the carpenter can go. So then what will happen the rest? That is what we missing mostly. Even with the Dharma also the same. Because by words, there is a limit that we can of course understand. But if we become limited to that, what will happen? We cannot go beyond it. So then in conventional knowledge and everything, that the vipassana means you go beyond that. So when you are in that journey, there are four kind of things in the satipatthana, in the vipassana. There are four kind of clear comprehension that you practice. So yesterday we became very clear with what clear comprehension in 3 steps. And today there are 4 methods, 4 ways that you practice clear comprehension. From here we're going to go for it because of the time. So the one is clear comprehension of purpose. So the clear comprehension of purpose, second one clear comprehension of suitability, and the third one clear comprehension of resort, and the fourth one clear comprehension of non-delusion. So those are the when it comes to clear comprehension, it's going to make complete the idea, the understanding what is the clear comprehension. Sati sampajanya, direct perception. So when it comes to that, the clear comprehension of purpose, that's mean, so if you don't know, there is a moment that you can experience in your mind, direct experience without thoughts. You don't look for it because it's not going to happen by mistake. Like there are some kind of methods that the teachers or traditions sometimes it say, you go to mountain and you stay there. I close my eyes, then after that when I open my eyes, it was 7 days past, I didn't know what happened. So like that. But this is not like that. This is not going to happen like that way. This is happening by knowingly. That's why you need the Dharma. That's why you need the Buddha. So otherwise you have to go through a long journey and research yourself. So somehow clear comprehension of purpose. That means once you know, there is a moment that your mind can exist without thoughts. You have to have a purpose to reach to that. So always you have to have the purpose, because our purpose is always look for environment, situation, to depend on situations or depend on information or depend on some kind of wisdom or knowledge. That's why we read books. That's why we listening. So if somebody say, oh, there is a very wise guru or monk or giving talks, or there is arahata giving talk, Oh, then, everybody go. And everybody go there and listening, and maybe they don't understand anything. But still, they become so happy. So the clear comprehension of purpose means when you come to that, you don't play that kind of role. No. Because you always know there is a wisdom beyond the, the thoughts. So then you may go and you have the discussion and you have the conversation with that monk or the guru or the teacher or the any kind of person. You will have a discussion, and you will have the discussion and you ask how you get it, rather than whatever the other person saying and believing that. You ask how you get it. Why? Because you know yourself that there is a, you heard there is a the place that you can go beyond the thoughts. So as example, just conventional example, there is a person, say, like if the person go hike, then you meet that person and then that person say, oh, there is a place like this. Then what you ask? How to go there? And then as example, there's just imagine, this is kind of like a beautiful, something like a gold plate, or maybe that gold credit card, or maybe gold medal or something like this, and you can use everywhere, so valuable. So once when some your friend, show it to you, and what you ask? How you get it? How you get it? So that is what clear comprehension of purpose. You always keep the clarity regarding to achieve beyond the thoughts and to have the clear comprehension. So then it doesn't matter you go to anybody. What you ask? You ask how he get it. But is that what we doing? When we go to temple or when we go to any place or when we listening a Dharma or even when you do any kind of thing, reading a book or anything, what we does? We just follow the information. So we just follow the information regarding whatever other person say, and whatever that person say, we do that. That's it. Not related to our purpose, we look for information. We go ourselves towards the information, not we can find the information from ourselves to uplift. So that is one thing. So then when you come to that, you will see there are a lot of knowledge. There are a lot of knowledge exist. It's unnecessary. It eat your time. It destroy your time, life, that information. You spend your time to learn that, and then finally you understand it is useless. So then half of life you already gone. So like that. But when it comes to the clear comprehension of purpose, it's not like that. It doesn't take that much time. Once you know there is a place that you can exist without thoughts, if you really look for that, it doesn't take that much time. Minimum it take only 7 years. Maximum it take only 7 years if you really look for that. So another thing is clear comprehension of purpose. So even yourself, the effort when you use regarding look for that, we always use the effort, and sometimes it is that unnecessary, and it is a wrong way we use our own energy, in the wrong way we look for that. So then you have to look yourself and looking around you and see, if you look for that knowledge, are you looking it? Is there anyone got it? Is there, have you heard anywhere anybody got it? So that's why the community of the Sangha, from Buddhas to now, 2600 years, many enlightened masters, recorded, unrecorded, the many ways. Even there are some monks, high priest, and when you have a very, a closer the conversation, and you understand this, and and they can explain how you can get it, and they're not depending on the ideas or the thoughts, then you understand, oh, there is a place that you can live without thoughts. Oh, this I found like this. So like that, the community of Sangha, so you have to look for that. If you look for that, you will find. If you don't look, you don't find. So like that, still, there are many enlightened masters, and connected to the clear, the wisdom, and without depending from informations. So another thing is yourself. So when it comes to yourself, so whatever the information or whatever the truth you gather, how you can recognize that is a real truth or not? That is the real mind-blowing question. So maybe you go to enlightened masters, or maybe you go to a good teacher or the monk or anybody. How you can recognize, okay, this is the truth. Okay, I recognize it without thoughts. How you can get into that point and understand yourself? When you reach to that, when you connect to that, in that moment, you just experience, in that experience, there is no desire or there is no resistance. You just completely experience that. There is no any way that it develop your greed, hatred, or the delusion. It's just become completely pure experience, pure wisdom. When you're able to experience something like that, you know there is something beyond these thoughts. So these thoughts is like an ocean. Information is like ocean. It is necessary. It should be there. But at the same time, it is conventional, and to get into eternal level, that you have to get out of it. Rather than settling down there, try to get out of it. How? Practicing samatha, tranquility meditation, and vipassana. In that vipassana, sati sampajanya, clear comprehension. So in that clear comprehension, the purpose, the clear comprehension of purpose, always look for the purpose. Now you know there is a way, and look for that and search for it, and yourself. And whatever you do, the effort you should keep to the profitable way yourself, not to go into unprofitable way. And at the same time, whatever you see, whatever you gain, we need come to the real experience in that very moment. In your mind, there is no resistance, there is no desire, but still you experience. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ettavata cammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.